still feeling a little bit rubbish, but it's clearing up a bit. I'm about to do a bit of a refactor, so I wanted to grab some footage now while I know that it all still works. So what we have is, let me just move this stuff for a second. Right, so what we've got is our map at the moment has a 4-man element that the element belongs to the team that's defined over here in the level. They're going to go to the insertion zone, which is found by the team using an get all actors of class type thing, so that I'm prepared to have multiple insertion zones. Then they ask the element that they belong to asks the team for the next room to clear. So we've set the rooms up, just dropping these references into an array on the team actor here. So currently there's only one room, but we'll fill it up so that we can have a look. So let's say that we've got 3 rooms here to demonstrate. So we'll clear that room first, then we're going to clear that little room, and then we're going to clear this big room. Okay, and then the AI system knows then that we've got 3 rooms to clear, so when it's cleared all 3 of them, it knows that it needs to extract, so it gets to the extraction zone. Okay, so this gives us some sort of context for a building. That's essentially what this is. So what I'm working on at the moment is hostages. So this guy here is a hostage, but we're going to take him out for now because he doesn't really do anything at the minute, because that's the next bit, right? We're attacking this building because we're trying to save hostages. So let's hope that, you know, it works. Oh, they're quite quick. I've put their movement speed way up just so that I can implement the testing a bit more easily. Okay, so off we go. So that's them stacking up in the insertion zone. They're now moving to their stack locations. When everybody's stacked, they're getting into the room and they see all the nodes, right? So they keep going until they find all the nodes. Then they stack back up on the door. When they're all in position, they go to the next stack location, which is the next room. When they're all there, they should get in and clear the room. Now the nav system is, yeah, one of these guys struggles sometimes to get out of here, but everyone's still waiting for him here. So then in he goes, they clear the room, and then they should know that that's the last room to be cleared, and off to the extraction zone we go. So bum bum bum. All right, and that's what's happening. So I would say it's working really well. These line traces are the current clearance node that the guy's allocated, and then the yellow one is where they need to be. Right, so their next target location. So they stack up, clear the room. One improvement I could make in this already is how we're reallocating these nodes as they're getting seen. I'd like to put some logic in there that see, now that's happened a couple of times. So this whole thing breaks now because he's running to the room without waiting for his team. So I thought I'd sorted that bug out. Let's see if it happens again. So they get in, they clear the node. Now they're supposed to wait and regroup here. All that logic is can I see the door? If I can see the door, then just stop until everyone can see the door. So you can just see it happening there. And then they're supposed to wait until they're all stacked up. Okay, so they've done it that time. And then they go. So if for some reason one of these guys decides to get a bit keen, yeah, see? I wonder why that's happening again. When I started this video, I was sure that all that was finished. So he'll go around and check everything, but because these guys have been allocated these nodes, that's what the true means. As this. So for instance, that node has never been allocated to somebody, but it's been seen. Whereas all these other ones have had allocations made. So that's been allocated, which is stopping him having that node allocated to him to stop everybody just converging in one place. But then, of course, this bug is now preventing the room being clear. So back to the drawing board with that one. But I think I'm this far in, so I've got 24 hours to go. So I'm halfway through, and I've got the concept of what a building is, I've got the clearance nodes. We've got a list of rooms, so that we can clear one room after another, usually. We've got a concept of insertion into that zone, extraction from that zone, and I've just been reparenting some of the sort of human type actors, so that we're going to have a class hierarchy where we go from human. Here we're going to have human as the top of the tree, and I think we're going to change soldier to broadly mean combatant, and then from there we're going to make the good guys operators and the bad guys enemies. So then an enemy can have an operator as a target, and vice versa. So I suppose I'm having a quick look back at that bug that I thought was sorted, but that's where I am now. So I'm quite happy with that. It's 9 o'clock in the morning, Monday morning. I think I might be finished with this game jam by Wednesday. I've got 9 or 10 hours I think planned for today, and then 6 hours tomorrow, and then a few hours on Wednesday, and we should be done. So the next, as far as reflecting on the process goes, I'm picking up that's really the whole point of this. I have identified a few things. The first, that once the project gets to a certain level of complexity, I'm finding it difficult to hold all of my own solutions in my head at once. So I wonder if there was, diagrams and things that I could learn, a system I could learn to keep track of how I'm solving certain problems and having things interact with each other, rather than flipping between each actor all the time and trying to hold the whole chain in my head to see whether. Usually it's the biggest problem is when there's an issue, a bug of some sort, and I can find it difficult to track that down sometimes. And then the other things is just a familiarity with the software. I'm leaning on things I already know to get this stuff done, and I know that's just a product of progress generally anyway. That, I'm jumping on Google a lot less now. How does this work? How does that work? But the other thing is that when I do have to hit Google, I'm much more clued up about what it is that I'm searching for, and I find that all the little experiences that I've had everywhere has, led up to the ability to solve these problems faster, which I suppose is standard stuff. That's how you learn anything. So yeah, I'm quite happy with it. I think if I get the time, I'm going to have a proper stab at EQS, and I think if I could do this again, I probably would start with EQS, because I really wanted to learn that a bit more thoroughly, and I don't feel that I've had that chance, because I've decided to do the room clearance node system instead. But the good news is that my behaviour tree, if I can bring that up, the guy's behaviour tree, that has worked for me really well. This is the most complex version of this sort of thing that I've ever done. Let's stop that happening. So I've never done, I know this isn't a great big tree, but it's not bad. So I've got it set up to be inserting, so the inserting it into the space, doing all the things you need to do, and then extracting, am I inserting or am I extracting the combat zone? And then we check if we're waiting on the element. So this is where they're waiting to stack, or they are stacked, but they're waiting on everybody else. So they're asking, where should I be? Am I stacking? And then is the mission complete? Because we're going to want to stack on the extraction zone as well, but we won't want the tree to go any further. So if the mission is complete, then we don't get here, which opens up the other branches. So then this is very simple for clearing, which is just set that I have a stack location to false, which means that next time we iterate through the tree, this will trigger. That's been the biggest learning thing for me, is trying to control the tree from within the tree. With the combination of the tree and the AI controller, it's what should go where. But I've definitely improved a lot since the last time I tackled the tree. I definitely understand the tree better, and it's allowed me to make much more complex behaviour than I've managed to do before. And then we got this is securing, so set the door as the focus, and then then set the door as a target location, and then move to the door. And then the other thing that's worth mentioning is this is integral to the tree working. So this is the event that's thrown when the AI perception component perceives something, some sort of stimulus. So at the minute, I know that casting probably isn't the way to do this, but I'm just casting to the room node and say, hey, if you see a room node, is it the one I was allocated? If it is, then say node scene and deal with it that way. Even if it's not, then you still need to process it anyway, because you might just need to turn it to true and take it out of the list. And then if it's the doorway, and this is how we're dealing with interrupting the movement, these move to nodes, you can't cancel them from in here. I don't know a way to just cancel that. Even if you put a decorator on it, it's never tested again until this is complete. So I was like, well, I don't know how to deal with that then. So I've quick jump online, found this guy's stop movement. So what I'm doing is, okay, well, if you perceive the doorway then, which I've registered with this as in the perception component as a stimulus, if you perceive if you're currently clearing, and that's true, and you perceive a doorway, is it the doorway that you're supposed to be focused on? If it is, stop moving, set that you're holding position, and then do this other test is element, the whole element. So this is just at an individual soldier level. So then we reach up to the element and say, hey, is everyone in the same spot where we're all holding on this door? And if they are, then that calls the next room, and off we go. And then this is how I'm dealing with the tree. So I'm preparing the tree for the next room. So I'm saying that we're holding position is false. And then this is the other thing that I've done, which is an improvement over how I've done this in the past, is I've just made loads of custom events here that could probably be functions, and there's no reason why they couldn't be. But this is the only way that you can access the blackboard as a sort of general rule. So no other actor accesses the blackboard directly. They all come through the AI controller, so that I can keep the thinking about it straight. So when I prepare the tree for the next room, I'm just setting blackboard values, and then the other one is that if I'm preparing the tree for extraction, I just call this function really and do all this other stuff, and then I say you are extracting, which will get you into the branch that deals with the extraction, and the mission is complete. And that's what is stopping our guys dead in here, because when that's true, this can't fire. So basically what happens is the whole tree locks up and just keeps firing, and that's fine, and I'll consider it finished. So the next bit for this will be to put in the hostage side of it, which will be, hey, I've spotted a hostage, what do I do about that? And then the last bit will be the fighting side of it. And I've made that last because this is all the stuff I haven't done before. Whereas the fighting side of it, I kind of got a really good idea about how that's going to work. I'm not going to make it super complex, it's only going to be line traced fighting. Excuse me. And of course, the order of priority will be really, will be far over here. So first of all, it will be, hey, am I fighting? And then second, am I escorting someone? And then it's this insertion, extraction, then stacking, clearing, and then securing. So yeah, that's where I am at the moment. That dragged on a bit more than I thought it would, but it's only really in talking it through do you sort of realise how much progress has been made. I'm quite happy with this. All right, well, thanks very much.